I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
I'm unbeatable. Couple minutes left score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stock, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint in week 5 of the British Basketball League. 8 games in this long weekend, and your Saturday night takeaway is Manchester against Leicester. The Riders are on a 4-game winning streak, but the last time they met the Giants, the Riders snuck home by just 1 point. So hoping for another close game is Josh Bett and Drew Lasker.
Well, thank you, Jeanette, and welcome British Basketball League fans here to Manchester for this epic showdown between our hosts, the Manchester Giants, and the visitors, the Leicester Riders. Well, good evening, fans. I'm your commentator, Josh Bett, alongside the great Drew Lasker, and we're going to bring you this showdown between two teams that are on different ends of the league standings at the moment. Well, we're going to take a look at the starting lineups, and we'll start with our hosts, the Manchester Giants, and of course a game where they're going to be without William Lee yet again, and of course without Legend Roberta. But their starting lineup will see Jamal Anderson, Evan Walsh, Mason Boursier, Harris, and Lawton. So this team with only 1 victory to their name this season, and that was against the Plymouth City Patriots on the road. While the visitors, on the other hand, a team that's been represented by championship DNA over many years here in the British Basketball League, they'll be started with Myron Thomas, Asprey Pinson, Holmes, and Bridges. Well, we are going to show you some of the key players you want to look out for, and we're going to start, of course, with the home team, Jamal Anderson. And Drew, what can we say about this superstar?
I mean, this guy's like one of those fine wine bottles at the top of the shelf. He's having a career year in minutes, points, steal, and assists. Only sat down for 8 minutes all year. And so, you know, he's the glue to this team. And also, we know what he can do defensively. He's going to get down and dirty. So, a great asset to the Giants.
Well, he's up against his former club tonight, and that man there, Myron Thomas, I mean, he has been a spectacular talent so far this season in the league.
Yeah, and he's beginning to find his feet offensively as well. He kind of reminds me of William Lee on the opposition and can do a little bit of everything and slowly becoming the Riders' most important player, and so has a bright future, and you'll look for him to be exciting tonight.
Well, a big game, of course, for the Giants, says Brian Simonian, the head coach of the Giants, and just finding how tough it is here in the British Basketball League against one of the legends of this league. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back momentarily.
One hand, and Wayne just threw it down hard.
Another pump fake for him. He's got lots of room, Johnson. Oh, Taj Green! Hello!
Just followed his point guard and smashed the ball in before anyone else could react.
Jordan Johnson gets in, puts the kernel in the pot. Taj Green, kaboom! Jaron Holmes, one-on-one with Defoe and swiped away by Taj Green. Now they're pushing forward. McGill! Oh, what a block! Caleb Asprey, lock and key.
This is a basket-saving block. Asprey comes across clean as you like off the backboard.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when a ball drops. My man.
Well, welcome back, British Basketball League fans. Head coach Brian Simonian, the new head coach of the Manchester Giants, already one victory to his name, but he's up against Rob Paternostra. Now, Drew, they lost their opening game against the Cheshire Phoenix, but it's been a complete turnaround from the Riders so far since then.
Yeah, I have never seen a team improve this much in over a week. I had tweeted, ironically, that Rob Paternostra was going to have gray hair after the season, but all of a sudden, since that Cheshire game, this looks like a completely different ball club.
Well, of course, the last 5 meetings have all gone in favor of the Leicester Riders, but thanks to Dan Rutledge giving us a little bit of his knowledge. Of course, the last time the Giants won this game was on March the 13th of 2022. Jamel Anderson, of course, featured in that game. And again, he's up against his former club. And sometimes you know what that's like, of course, when you left Plymouth to go to Newcastle. Sometimes when you play against your former team, it's a game you want to win, of course.
You always want to win, and you want to perform well as well. I don't care how many times you face your former team. You always have that feeling in your tummy. You want to go out there and you want to put in a good performance.
Well, Basketball fans, a moment of silence, of course, to reflect on global events happening, of course, in the world. And at the moment, we like to make sure that sport is using the capacity of bringing people from all over the world together. At the moment, it's Manchester Giants against Leicester Riders, and our thoughts and prayers go to the victims that have currently lost their lives tragically. It's happened in Israel. Well, it will be the Leicester Riders who get the first possession of the game. Riders, of course, as we mentioned, turning things around again. A nice little penetration by Pinson going straight to the bucket, and that's just too easy, Drew.
Wow, they started off the game with a little double stagger there as Pinson came down and got downhill. The weak side help defender was non-existent, but it's no surprise the Giants give up 95 points a game, which is the worst in the British Basketball League.
Well, they had a very spirited performance against the London Lions, but tonight without Ledger or Bud, and a nice little post move, taking it straight to the bucket by Austin Lawton.
Yeah, and that's great news for the Manchester Giants. As you just mentioned, Roberton is out tonight, and Lawson proving that he can step up tonight and get the job done.
Well, Bridges being guarded by former Leicester Rider Jamel Anderson. Last season did play for the Phoenix. Wrapping around a tough move with the reverse layup.
And you're talking about against one of the better defenders in the British Basketball League in Jamel Anderson. And like I talked about at the top of the show, this young fella Thomas is so exciting.
Oh, look out below, the pick and roll comes to options. As there you can see already, Austin Lawton, I'd like to call that Austin 216 maybe on that one.
And this is an area that the Leicester Riders got to clean up. You see this weak side here, Asbury just watching the rolling defender. That's his responsibility to tag that guy right there. And we've seen it so far this year. They got to clean up on the defensive end.
Jaron Holmes had a very spirited performance last night against the Surrey Scorchers. And again, you love how aggressively Riders just throwing the ball inside the post. The foul is going to be against Austin Lawton.
And I feel like we're in the 90s. Both teams going down low as the big fella with the Bridges with the quick spin, showing the good footwork, and ultimately gets fouled there by Lawson.
Well, Bridges currently at the free throw line here for the Giants. Lawton's going to have to play big minutes. We already saw, at the moment, William Lee still not healthy to play for the Giants, but also Ledger Roberto out here. So he's going to have to try and stay in this game for as long as possible.
Yeah, and he's going to have to be smart. We talked about it. William Lee there, I mean, he hasn't even gotten his season started, and unfortunately, he missed over 100 days of action last year. You're talking about a guy that was September's Player of the Month last year, was leading the league in blocks, and so Manchester Giants need to get William Lee healthy and see him on the court.
The Giants trying to deal with the full court pressure. Walsh in the backcourt along with Boursier. Nice pass in there. Lawton makes a bit of contact, and he'll go to the free throw line. So positive play here from the Manchester Giants.
Yeah, Manchester Giants coming out looking great, building on that performance in London a couple of days ago. And, Leicester Riders, they like to set up the soft press here usually, and it's not to steal the ball. It's usually just to work some clock. But like we see again, just that back line just not into position.
Lawton was a key factor for them when they played against the London Lions. And, the way that the Giants did go to the copper box and played, as we mentioned, with a lot of spirit, a lot of teams would have seen that game and maybe taken a bit of confidence in knowing, you mentioned this on Twitter, that we can go to the copper box. We can compete against the league's very best.
Well, that does a lot for a young team. You know, you go against Goliath and you look them in the eye, and it's a close game, the closest that anybody's played them. And then you come out of that game saying, hey, we can play with anybody in this league if we can stay close to the London Lions.
Well, Pinson looking like a baby Gino Crandall at the moment, just shaking and baking on the floor. And he will go to the charity stripe.
Yeah, that's what Pinson does. He has that ball on a string, and, you know, he dribbles and weaves himself through and then finishes with the Euro step down and finishes with the and one.
The free throws need to be the pedigree for this team. Had a very quiet game, of course, after a very good performance against the Bristol Flyers on the road, but Leicester currently with a 1-point lead. Giants trying to set into the half-court set. We'll see, looking for a penetration, getting a handoff. 7 here on the shot clock, time winding down. And they have to force up a Hail Mary three-pointer, can't get it, but a foul is going to be called against the Riders, I believe.
And that's the last thing you want as a coach. You play 23 seconds of great defense there. You just need to finish the possession off with the rebound, get off to the races, but unfortunately, a foul called there on the Leicester Riders.
Of course, you've seen this season after season. You know, you were part of those Newcastle Eagles franchise that won multiple trophies in the British Basketball League. But one thing about Leicester, they have good years, they lose players, but, you know, the key thing about they always seem to adapt and find a way to make themselves a contender in this league.
Yeah, and that's because they got a great coach there, Rob Paternostro, who's been around for a long time, won numerous Coach of the Year awards, and you know, he's seen it all and done it all and knows how to adapt.
The ball did touch the backboard, so it's going to be I'm not sure it might be on his way down, but Austin Lord, the elevation on this man is incredible. Let's have a look at the replay. Oh, it did touch the backboard, yeah, so
yeah.
Smart play by Jaron Holmes.
And maybe Lawton needs to leave that alone, because maybe that looked a little bit short from my angle, but, you know, as soon as the ball hits the backboard, no matter if it's going in or not, it's a goaltending all day long.
Well, going up, an aggressive drive to the bucket. Again, the Giants at the moment, Harris doing exactly what he did against the London Lions.
And that was a great coming out party for Harris there in London, playing very well. I mean, the issue with the Manchester Giants is the Americans, the imports. No import averaging over 10 points. I'm not sure when the last time that we saw that. We know what Walsh brings to the table, Anderson. We see there Robertson having a career year, but for me, it's been the imports that need to step up for this team.
Remember, both Evan Walsh was a member with the Leicester Riders when they won the playoff championship and the league back in 2022. He was also going to Loughborough University at that time. We'll see it coming up one ball screen. Kicks this one out to Harris. Harris down the middle, goes for a pump fake, goes up, and again, this man showing no fear whatsoever.
Yeah, and lefties, they're always typically hard to guard because, you know, as a defender, you're taught to shade people to the baseline, and he's able to get there to a strong hand.
Well, Giants have numbers, but they got to be quick here. The passing. Oh, my goodness. Well, that would have been something. Could have been top play of the week, probably. The thing I liked about that is they threw the love pass to Evan Walsh. He catches it midair. Oh, come on, Jamel. You got to finish that, man. That's unbelievable.
Come on. Too much wine at 33. We said he was fine wine, but he'll want that back. But the thing that I like about this, he was the first guy back to get the deflection on the defensive end. So it's always about the next play. Jamel Anderson displaying that.
Well, British Basketball League fans watching this game, of course, Jamel Anderson is a part of a podcast now with Patrick Whelan and Gino Crandall. And if you listen to one of their episodes, they talk about life as professional basketball players. Also, 3 of them did feature at points in their career with the Leicester Riders. Gino Crandall currently signed in Israel, but due to events happening in the world, has returned back to the United States.
Yeah, what a great player we have for this league, a 2-time MVP. And we need more of that, you know, current players with podcasts. You know,
well, we have an injury down. This could be a problem for the Giants.
Wow, and that's Lawton as well. He immediately grabbing his ankle, and we talked about earlier the absence of legend Robertson, and this is the last thing that the Manchester Giants need is their big fella going down. And his right foot just got caught up right there, and I've had that happen many times before. And a lot of times, It's just initial reaction. You can lace up the shoe a little bit tight and you're able to walk it off. But it's that initial shock when your ankle goes down more than what it's supposed to, and it kind of spooks you a little bit.
I think also not only with the ankle, but I think he took a shot to the shin as well on that one.
Yeah, well, that's good news for the Giants that he's able to walk it
Yeah.
off. You see him doing some calf raises there, just making sure everything is intact, and I think the big fella will be fine.
They're going to make a change now. Stampley coming into the game for the Giants, so they're going to go with a bit of a smaller lineup, and this could be seeing Jamal Anderson go to the 5. Coming to the free throw line, Raymond Bridges, 24 years of age.
And I like this young fella here. He provides a security blanket for the Leicester Riders, just picking up what Darian Nelson Henry left off, who recently retired last year. You throw the ball to him, he's automatic bucket as Caleb Asbury splashes away from downtown.
Well, the offensive rebound fell into the hands of TJ Law. The Giants not taking care of that. Well, Harris, Stampley, Jamal Anderson, Mason Borsier, and Evan Walsh currently on the floor. Anderson goes for a three-pointer. Can't get this one. Riders looking to extend the lead here, leading by 1 possession. Well, Pinson's in the backcourt along with Asbury, Law, Holmes, and Bridges also making out the front court for the Riders. Just turning it over now.
Great hands there by Anderson.
Walsh looking for something here in transition. And again, it's that man. Well, he, at the moment, anytime he's getting the ball in the paint, he is becoming an X factor here for the Giants.
And that was just great body control. As he saw the defender there stepping up for the charge, he was able to slow his body down and then pull up for the midi.
Vincent Vaughn and Holmes. He's made 1-3. This one's going to be a 2-pointer, foot on the line, but again, finishing under pressure.
Wow, what a shot there by Asbury. A tight closeout there. And as we've seen on social media, no one has as much swagger and confidence as that kid.
The Giants unable to get things going from the perimeter. But, you know, one thing about Asbury is that, you know, Rob Paternoster is very confident that he is going to be a top player in this league. And that's one of the reasons why they signed him. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back momentarily.
You put the work in, everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain anything you got, you've earned it. Sky is the limit, it's reachable. Just jump high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
I am unbeatable. Couple minutes, gotta score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Well, welcome back, British Basketball League fans. Callum Jones subbing into the game for the Giants. Currently trailing by 2 points here to the Leicester Riders. Well, Nick Lewis, who had a great shooting night against the Lions, find Jamal Anderson in the lane. Too strong on that one. Giants fighting for offensive rebounds. Lewis in the corner, 3 is up, no good, straight off the bench.
And the Riders dodge a bullet, there, as we know what Nick Lewis coming to the game for, and that's to unleash from the three-point line range.
Well, Mo Walker, the big man, the big Canadian, looking for the post-up. Again, right away, turning it over against his former teammate.
And guess who it is? Jamal Anderson, second in steals in the league.
Well, Stampley went for the pick and pop, and again, getting their first three-pointer, and that's what the Giants need. 3 steals already, Drew, for the Giants.
Yeah, showing some teeth on the defensive end. We talked about it earlier. One of the worst teams in the league, as big fella Mo Walker there cleans up the mess.
Well, Bossier tried to go quick there, but Giants able to regain possession. Stampley made 1 3, goes for another one, and this guy right in the moment, feeling the confidence as he's getting into that rhythm.
And like we see the Giants picking up exactly where they left off at the copper box. And we talked about it earlier, the defensive end from the Leicester Riders, no problem scoring the ball, but the defense has been an issue so far this season.
Well, Mo Walker has the mismatch, and the big man unable to get that one. But you want to see more of that from Mo Walker. Demand the ball in the post.
I mean, for me, I just want to see Mo Walker on the floor. He's had some unfortunate injuries over the last couple of years. So just to see him out there bouncing back from Achilles tear, from a hamstring tear a couple of years ago, and for him to be out there says a lot about his mental fortitude.
Well, Stampley at the moment, here was the pick and pop sequence with Bossier, went out to the perimeter. Again, he's guarded by the bigger, respectfully slower Mo Walker, and another 3-pointer by Stampley. And again, if he has a good shooting night, Giants just might give themselves a chance of competing for a victory here tonight against the Riders.
Yeah, absolutely. If they're going to pull out a victory, they're going to have to continue scoring the ball, and that's what we've seen this season, the inconsistencies on the offensive end.
Ladison trying to battle for the offensive ball, but Kimball McKenzie, the player of the game last night against Scorches, checks into the game, and again, it's a bit of run and gun here for the Riders.
And typically, that's not a shot a coach wants to see, a 3-on-3 fast break in transition and pull up for a contested 3, but like we talked about, Asbury coming off a below par standard performance last night, looking to step it up tonight.
Well, nice cut to the basket. The dime coming from Jamel Addison. Good team basketball from the Giants. It's just the extra effort from Nick Lewis making that little cut down the middle, but at the moment, Stampley having his work cut out here against the bigger Mo Walker. Mo makes the back down again. That's just too easy for the big man.
I mean, when Mo's healthy, he's 55% and above from inside the arc. So you get, like we talked about in game 1, you got to make sure you make bigs fight for position.
Well, Bossier threw a tough pass to the Stampley. Giants regain this one. Both teams, 9 field goals each. Lewis from downtown can't connect with it. Getting a fresh 14 here on the shot clock. Well, the seal-off, a good help side defense by TJ Law, but even a better play. But the follow-up, and again, everything happening for second chances at the moment for the Giants.
And a nice job there by Callum Jones, just continuing to roam the court, the veteran there, getting down and dirty. He's always been a great rebounder in there too.
Well, Asprey had 2 3-pointers, but closed out by Nick Lewis. Lewis being very aggressive there on the defense.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. I'm keeping my eyes on this matchup. Nick Lewis has always been a big talker. We've obviously just discovered that Caleb Asbury is a talker as well, so I'll be looking at these two all night long.
The Riders also have Blake Bowman into the game. Blake Bowman, obviously the son of the great Barry Bowman, who played many years in the British Basketball League with some of the former legendary teams of London Towers, Thames Valley Tigers, and also the Derby Storm, but the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Giants not allowing Kimball McKenzie to have any time or space, but again, they go down to Mo Walker, and the big fella. And he could have a field day tonight because there's not many players that the Giants have that are going to be able to defensively match up with him, Drew.
Yeah, but that defensive mistake there for me is on Callum Jones. Once you have Kimball Walker there in the corner, you got to keep him there and force him to the baseline. He was able to get back to the middle and ultimately dump it down low to the big fella.
Well, Jamel Addison was wide open at it, and you can see Callum Jones saying to Stampley, you got to see that because, you know, Giants, they are the underdogs in this team, no doubt. But anytime you get a free lunch, you got to take it.
Well, that's the thing about professional basketball is that it's always about that young players struggle to adjust with, as we see legend Roberton there, who's also having a career year for the Manchester Giants, and he's in great shape. We saw him working with Ryan Richards over the summer, and boy, is it paying dividends. And so it's great to see from the big fella. But to go back to my point is, young fellas, they struggle to adjust to the pro game because college is more systematic. The pros is about seeking out mismatches, and once you have that mismatch, you got to pounce on it quickly because that window closed very quickly.
Jamel Addison missing both free throws. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. McKenzie going pick up, but again, slight mental blunder there from Blake Bowman.
And Blake Bowman just needed to space out a little bit more. You can tell Kimball wasn't expecting him to be that close. That's why he put some pop on the ball, and just a miscue there between the two players.
Well, 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Giants trailing by 1. Again going down to Anderson. Anderson kicking this one out to McNeil. McNeil thinks about it. He goes for the 3 and again. He knocks it down. 2-point lead here to the Giants.
And that's no surprise for McNeil. This is a guy that was a 4-star recruit out of Houston, Texas. He goes to Cal and breaks the 3-point record as a freshman. And so his pro career has gotten off to a slow start, but he's clearly talented.
Connor Washington tries to lock it at the moment. We got a buffet here from both these two teams firing back and forth at each other.
And how many times have we seen that from Connor Washington?
Well, final seconds now. Lewis hesitates. Goes all the way off the backboard. The bank is open. Dying moments in the first quarter. Nick Lewis has delivered, ladies and gentlemen. What is currently now a slender 1-point lead here to the Manchester Giants. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back shortly.
One hand, and Wayne just threw it down hard.
Another pump fake for him. He's got lots of room, Johnson. Oh, Taj Green! Hello!
Just followed his point guard and smashed the ball in before anyone else could react.
Jordan Johnson gets in, puts the kernel in the pot. Taj Green, kaboom! Jaron Holmes, one-on-one with Defoe and swiped away by Taj Green. Now they're pushing forward. McGill! Oh, what a block! Caleb Asprey, lock and key.
This is a basket-saving block. Asprey comes across clean as you like off the backboard. Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back, British Basketball League fans, and there's Asprey. He's had so far quite a good night from the perimeter, Jay. Sorry, Drew. The Drew and Jay podcast. I've been listening to that too long.
Hey, well, that's a good thing. But, you know, for me, it's about both teams. I mean, which team is going to get sticky on the defensive end first, as Manchester Giants shooting 54% and the Leicester Riders shooting a staggering 78 in that first quarter.
They just get the ball over the halfway line, go for another three. They had numbers. And again, they're unable to save that one. I mean, look, you can see by the way this game is going, you can understand why Connor Washington's taking that three-pointer, but they had numbers in that case.
Well, that's a play as a coach. They say, you better make it, you know, because it's not a great shot in the grand scheme of things. But, you know, someone like Connor Washington, we see shoot that shot and make that shot before. Maybe you give him some leeway. But I'm taking a 2-on-1. I'm taking a layup.
Neal coming off the triple handoff, taking from the mid-range, unable to convert it. Now McKenzie draws the contact, goes up. Player of the game from yesterday's victory against the Surrey Scorchers. The one thing I love about Kimball McKenzie, he knows how to read ball screens. But Drew, this guy pushes the ball at such a high tempo in transition.
He's one of the best to do it in the British Basketball League, getting from A to B. He loves that right to left push cross and put his head down. As soon as he feels contact, he's going into the act of shooting, where he's one of the best free throw shooters in the history of the British Basketball League. You know, he shot over 120 last season and only missed 6.
Well, like Patrick Whelan, he did a feature in the Canadian CBL with the Niagara River Lions. There's quite a few players we've had in the British Basketball League going to that, that up-and-coming, almost called a summer professional league in Canada, but at the moment, Anderson in the corner looking for his first three-pointer, can't get it. These two teams locked in at 28 apiece. Jamel Anderson and Connor Washington, friends for so many years, playing at the Riders. Well, Lewis went for the spectacular with the shot clock dying down, couldn't get it.
And that was much better defense from the Leicester Riders.
The foul is going to be committed by McNeil.
And that's 2 possessions in a row where the Manchester Giants didn't do a good job of stopping the ball. You see McNeil there riding on the hip of that offensive player. And you're always taught to get your chest in front to make them go laterally, because you get a player going downhill, as we saw McKenzie the play before, it's going to be a foul every time.
Well, Blake Bowman just going right to the rim, and again, taking Callum Jones right to school.
Yeah, great strong play there by the second-year pro in the British Basketball League, who also made the jump up from Division I.
Stapley top of the key. Again, Jamel Anderson demanding the ball in the post. They don't get it to him. Stapley goes for another one. He's made 2 so far. Lewis with another offensive board here for the Giants. Bumps to the lane. Again, he got into a good position, but just lost control of the rock.
Yeah, he did a great job of opening up there on the baseline and attacking the defender there, and got to his spot, just lost the ball there at the end.
8 offensive rebounds already here for the Manchester Giants. Only 2 for the Riders, but it's a good sign for a team who, respectfully coming into this game, many people have said, even myself, they are the underdog. So if you can get those second chance points, it will definitely keep you in this game. We'll go into the basket. Almost got the and one, but he'll go to the charity stripe here for 2 free throws.
And I like what Rob has done to this roster as Law puts his head down. Nice little cuff there and up and under finish. Nice little acrobatic finish there. But, at the beginning of the season, McKenzie, Law was starting, and they struggled. They lost against Cheshire, and Rob totally revamped it. He started all the 5 rookies, and, the mindset behind that was letting these guys get out there and play, and then bringing guys like McKenzie and TJ Law, who have experience, Connor Washington, to clean up any mess that the young puppies have placed out there on the floor, and it seems to have worked out for the team.
Well, TJ Law just had a technical call, so 1 free throw coming up here for Connor Washington. We'll have TJ Law going to the free throw line. Went to the Canadian University powerhouse, Carleton. A team traditionally and historically known for defeating American NCAA Division I programs, of course. Also played for the Niagara River Lions, but, just enough, he was an Canadian player that played in the Japanese B League. I mean, to be in that league, of course, as an import player, you have to be of a very high level. So it's great to see players of that caliber coming to the British Basketball League.
Well, we got more and more players with a huge resume that's floating to the British Basketball League, because our league is becoming much more attractive over the last couple of years. And so it's a great thing to see guys like Sam Decker and Matt Morgan and TJ Law all coming here, and the more the merrier.
A lot of Canadians on this team as well. You think about it, Mo Walker, Lowell, and of course the likes of Kimball McKenzie. I mean, it's almost becoming a tradition now for the Riders.
Yeah, and I think that was the early entry by Connor Washington. He entered the paint before the ball hit the rim, so it's Manchester ball.
A 4-point game at the moment here to the Riders. Early stages of the second quarter. Boursier trying to make a penetration. Boursier going all the way. No contest whatsoever.
Wow, and a young 23-year-old attacking the rim with no regard as the seas opened up. A great little finish there.
Leicester going to a pick and pop, try another 3-point again. You can count that one. Now it's a 5-point lead.
Well, Ado is one of those scout and report guys. If he's at the top of the key, the middle third, it's going up. And so he's one of these guys you got to run off the line.
I like what you see here from Mason Boursier, just breaking down the defense, getting inside the paint. I mean, unable to get the and one, but he'll go to the free throw line. There's the pick and pop he talked about. And Yeah, they've only missed 2 3-point attempts here tonight, Drew.
Yeah, Stampley has to do a much better job at attacking the closeout. We call it a long closeout, which means you run past the defender and force them to put the ball on the floor, and that is how you have to guard guys like Ado there, or he'll make you pay.
TJ Law, Boursier also played at Carleton University, but did not actually feature in any games due to the global pandemic. And then he made a transfer, but at the moment, would you rate his game as being a backcourt player, a predominant point guard here for the Giants?
Yeah, I would say so. He's one of those guys that seem to bring some stableness to this team. A team in the Manchester Giants that's still trying to figure itself out. Their starting lineup has changed over the last 3 games, and so as Jamel Anderson gets the steal there and Harris off to the races and finishes the bucket there. But, this is a team that's young, that's been put together, a coach that got the job a month before the season. And so it's still early stages and for them to figure out who they are and who they want to be.
Washington trying to go in the lane, puts up a floater, can't get it. Giants battle for the rebound again. We're just getting caught up with Stampley, but the player reacting too aggressively in that case. It's going to be possession, I think, back to the Riders due to the possession arrow.
And I love that type of play there that you usually see. 2 guys tied up, you hear the whistle, and then it becomes a who does the most push-ups kind of match. It's a statement you're trying to prove to the opposition.
Well, Jaron Holmes coming back into the game for the Riders. A phenomenal game against the Scorchers last night. Going down the low, Low goes up again. Too easy with the seal off.
And a great seal there by the veteran in Law to use his body and the smaller defender of Harris and make him pay inside.
Neil Harris, Stampley, Anderson, and Boursier on the floor for the Giants. Trailing by 3 points. Well, Harris goes for another 3. 3 is up, and again, he ties the game up at 37 apiece.
Wow, that was a great outside play there, hitting the rolling Harris, and he makes him pay.
Well, Holmes, Idowu, Law, Hinson, and Kim McKenzie on the floor for the Riders. Giants can retake the lead here in transition. Looking for options. Crosses over. We'll see another penetration. Boursier goes up. Gets rejected. Well, that was one block from the other to the Canadian.
And that's a nice recovery there by Law. Perfectly times this blow-by block. It says, young fella, not my house.
Well, he just made a statement there, protecting the key. 2 Canadian players who did feature in the CBLs we mentioned. Well, the Giants have to get inbound. They find Boursier. Stampley top of the key, goes from 15. Can't get this one. Just over 5.5 to go here in the second quarter. Jaron Holmes looking to isolate. He goes up. Tough defense yet again for the Giants, and they have another opportunity to try and regain the lead.
Yeah, and that was great defense by McNeil, able there to hold his ground and ultimately finish with the block.
McNeil goes baseline again, had the layup, but the help side defense proved to be too much. Holmes pass out. Pinson throws it down with a bit of authority there in transition.
And that's what a transition break is supposed to look like. We don't want to see these 25-foot shots when you got a numbers advantage. We want to see cutters cutting, feeding them, and finishing with a strong finish. Nice play there by Pinson.
Riders regain the lead now. Stampley looking for a post-up. 6 seconds here on the shot clock. Goes to the tough fadeaway in the mid-range. And again, Dre, sorry, I've done that again now, too. Keep listening to your podcast, but if those are the shots the Giants are going to take, Riders will be relatively okay with that.
I mean, I would be, too. I mean, that's great defense again, and that's not a shot that's sustainable.
Almost turning it over. Pinson went for the no-look, but that's going to be a kickball violation. Fresh 14 for the Riders. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a short break, and we'll be back just shortly.
working, everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain anything you got, you've earned it. Sky's the limit, it's reachable. Just jump high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. I'm
I am
unbeatable.
unbeatable. Couple minutes, gotta score. Every time they wanna clash, the winner's kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, no stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Well, there you can see Rob Paternoster, the head coach of the Leicester Riders. At the moment, his team is being tested here by an inspired Manchester Giants team. It goes down the lane, a bit of contact, went in with a wraparound layup. A nice move there by Asbury.
I mean, this is a young, exciting, great player. Played at Oklahoma State, which is in the Big 12, which is big boy college basketball, and it's translating here to the British Basketball League.
Well, can the Giants respond here? 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. And again, another block shot. And this one did come off of Borsay, so we'll go back to the Riders.
And that's a great block there by Bridge again. And Borsay is showing a little bit of his youth there. You're penetrating in the paint amongst the trees, and you know you're going to probably have to use a little bit of footwork as we see Asbury off to a great start, 10 points so far this half.
Well, it's definitely a lot of flair in his game, and now you can understand why Rob Paternoster is so confident he's going to develop it. It's a very exciting backcourt with Pitts and Asbury. So many options, also with Jaron Holmes, too.
Yeah, Rob Paternoster, another stellar job in recruiting, and seems to always get it right. A guy that does his homework, he calls coaches and really digs deep into these guys' past.
Low length of the three-pointer, couldn't convert it. Giants looking to tie the game up, maybe take the lead with a three-pointer.
That's a great cut there by Jamel Anderson.
So I'm just wondering, though, I mean, what I was expecting maybe a lot to go up there.
Yeah, again, I mean, I mentioned it before. He's only 23 years old, so he's been thrown into the fire there. Hasn't had much game experience at the pro level, but he's getting some great reps here, and so.
Well, who else, Drew?
Jamel Anderson again.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he always has his hands in the cookie jars. If he's not getting a steal, he's getting a deflection. He's 6'7", long.
11 points so far for Jalen Harris. Always trying to use his strength, going in, can't finish it. Went over the backboard, but again, Giants, Walsh going cross court. Good anticipation by Pinson there on the defense.
Yeah, great job, Pinson, getting back there, forcing the Giants to take it out there on the sideline.
Well, 3:07 to go here in the first half, 20 on the shot clock. Anderson looked for a handoff. Giants offense a little bit stagnant here. Harris goes for another one. Can't get this. I think Pinson may have just given 2 points to the Giants captain, I believe.
And Stampley, that he knows every point count in this level, so he's raising his hand to say, hey, scores table, make sure you put those 2 points under my name.
I think the reaction of Pinson, though, just told a big story on that one. Well, Lowe going in, using the backboard. He'll go to the free throw line. And again, too big, too strong. It's simply just too good.
Wow, to me, it looked like an offensive foul. TJ extends that left arm there, and you know, as a defender, what else can you do? That's an offensive foul. Every time you extend that chicken wing there, unfortunate there for Boussier.
That's definitely a good point you made there, because the elbow clearly comes very high on the push-up, but Giants do suffer this one. 2:39 to go, potentially a three-point ball game if he makes this.
And you won't hear any Leicester Riders fan complaining about that. They'll take it as they can get it here on the road, as we have a close ball game here.
Motion to penetration, goes up all the way. He draws the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. Pinson is going to get called for the foul on this one.
And you mentioned it earlier, Evan Walsh. This is what he likes to do. Get his head down, get to the rim. And he's an artist at drawing fouls or finishing there. And really got his career off to a great start at Manchester Giants with this opportunity here. But the last couple games have gone a little bit quiet. And so be willing to see him find his feet again.
Well, Benson having to go to the bench, of course, picking up another foul. But Walsh, it was during the COVID lockdown season when there were no fans in any of the British Basketball League arenas, where he came in. I thought, he took on a big responsibility playing for Korean Raftopoulos, your former coach.
Yep.
They didn't really have too much success that season, but there was definitely a lot about him. You felt that this kid is going to definitely be a good player in this league.
Well, he showed some bright spots then. He was young and fearless, and that is the prerequisite of any young kid making the move up to the British Basketball League. We understand you're not going to understand the game at that level, but if you're fearless, that translates into success.
Well, Kimball tried to hang in the air, can't get it. Holmes had 4 3-pointers yesterday. Decides not to pull the trigger on this one. This is a good penetration kick out of reversal. McKenzie, and product not there, but it's the same story. Riders, they just have more hunger in this game. Asbury for a deep one. Still can't get it, but finally the Giants able to score a rebound. Now they try to push this one, but another foul. No, turnover.
Yeah, Giants looking to advance the ball and play with pace and space there. And Evan Walsh just tight rope in the sideline there and kind of ran out of real estate. But that's great hustle there by Holmes. Mo Walker holds him up, and Asbury just slightly off the mark there.
Again, the penetration, the ball reverses, they're getting good looks, but as you said, the cream of the crop there was the hustle going out of bounds. But that is very exemplary of a Rob Paternoster team.
Yeah, and that's something that you have to bring on the road, because you're not going to always shoot it well. You can't rely on your outside shot on the road, and we always say just play hard, play with effort until you get your offense going, and then you can steal a couple on the road.
Walsh commits a foul, so it's going to be 2 free throws coming up. No, excuse me. Yeah, correct. It's team foul, so it will be 2 free throws coming up here for Leicester Riders. 1:40 to go here in the second quarter.
And if I'm the Leicester Riders, I'm putting my head down every single time for this last minute and 40 seconds, because every time the whistle is blown, you are going to the free throw line.
Well, Bridges unable to make the first one. Yeah, missed them both. Walsh secures a rebound.
A little herky-jerky there on the release.
Interesting. It's very similar to Stapley, of course. We talked about the shooting forms, but now Walsh trying to pump fake. Go for another one. 3 is up. Can't get it, but another offensive board. Harris goes up, and again, you talk about fearless, and he flexes the guns right at the crowd.
Great job going there on the offensive glass. Walsh got away with the travel there, but Manchester Giants able to take advantage of second chance points.
Leicester going back and forth here with the Riders. Will tries to split the defense down, draws the contact. He'll be going back to the charity stripe, and it's as you said there, putting your head down, but just getting to the free throw line.
Well, you see who's involved in that action there. You see TJ Law and McKenzie, the guys that have experience, and they understand, basketball, when you see that bonus lit up, you got to put your head down and put the onus on the referees there, as Law has done. As soon as he hears the whistle, he's going up for the shot.
Again, coming into this game, many people, me especially, I said Riders are going to have a comfortable game. But, I'm starting to think that the game that the Giants had on the road in the Copper Box, you can see right now, it's almost like the building blocks of putting that DNA together and say, hey, we're not quite there yet, but we're going to be a team that's going to be able to compete this season in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have nothing to lose. I mean, and also to put in perspective, the Leicester Riders played last night. So if I'm Manchester Giants, I'm trying to get downhill and see if I can kind of creep into those legs of the Riders.
Stapley looking for a handout, finding Anderson. Anderson draws a contact. He'll go back to charity stripe. That's only the 3rd team foul against the Riders, but if he makes both these free throws, Drew, this could be a potential 2-for-1 for Manchester. They get a stop down the other end.
Yeah, absolutely. Jamel Anderson there, and I talked about it earlier, having a career year and just, so much more aggressive. And it started last year at Cheshire. He taking shots that you never saw him take at Leicester Riders. And, he used to hesitate if he wasn't completely open. Now he has the confidence to let that fly. But as you mentioned, a 2-for-1 opportunity with the Leicester Riders on the other end. But I'm not a believer in a 2-for-1 if it's not a good shot.
The Riders get the ball back. Another missed free throw here. Third missed free throw of the game for Jamel Anderson. 20 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Go looking for a handoff for an isolator. Good help side defense from Anderson. Giants come up and they got numbers. We'll see if they can. Oh, the turnover, but good defense by Jaron Holmes. And now it will be the Riders who will get the final possession.
Putting the ball in Kimball McKenzie's hands. I'm saying 1-4 flat, and I'm attacking the rim.
Kimball now with the ball. 5 seconds left. McKenzie goes to the tough fadeaway, puts it up, almost got it. Offensive rebound, unable to convert it. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the first half, it is all locked in a piece. 46 points for both these two teams. Nothing to separate them at the moment, but you know, Drew, a lot for him to think about. As you mentioned, they did play last night, but you know, he doesn't look too concerned as of now right now.
No, he looks fairly relaxed. And, you know, this team that he's coaching here, a brand new team, and Jay actually talked about it on the podcast, is that, you know, sometimes bringing in a bit of youth, a bit of vigor kind of reinstills you as a coach. And so, you know, Rob, he's been here before, and he knows what he's doing in that seat.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a halftime. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back momentarily. Just can't get it, but another offensive board, but just fumbling it. Lions come up with it. Well, look out below. Shover at Lions. Well, we have takeoff. Elvis has left the building.
McKenzie now looking for Idowu. In fact, he sees a gap and sees some room, and he was fading away and moving away from the basket. Nice save there from McGill. Hustle play, Jordan Johnson, Josh Ward-Hibbert, they need it, and the Newcastle Eagles have it.
Wow, it starts with Ricky McGill. An athletic, emphatic play to keep the ball in bounds, and then Josh Ward-Hibbert runs the floor like all good wings should, confidently knocks it down.
And a throwdown. Oh my goodness. Caught that with one hand, and Wayne just threw it down hard.
Another pump fake for him. He's got lots of room, Johnson. Oh, Taj Green. Hello.
Just followed his point guard and smashed the ball in before anyone else could react.
Jordan Johnson gets in, puts the kernel in the pot. Taj Green, kaboom! Jaron Holmes, one-on-one with Defoe and swiped away by Taj Green. Now they're pushing forward. McGill! Oh, what a block! Caleb Asprey, lock and key.
This is a basket-saving block. Asbury comes across clean as you like.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back, British Basketball League fans. We're currently live here in Manchester for this game between the Giants and the Leicester Riders. Well, I'm Josh Bed alongside the great Drew Laskin. But at the moment, Drew, it's been quite an exciting game.
Yeah, this game is up and down. It's pretty clean, not a lot of turnovers, and so a lot of scoring if you're into that part of basketball. But yeah, we got a great second half coming up.
Well, looking at these statistics at the moment, I mean, it's quite clear both these two teams trying to go from the perimeter, 40% for the Riders, but what do the stats? I mean, there's nothing to separate them at the moment.
Yeah, they're pretty even, Steven, down the line. The only thing that stands out for me is the 11 offensive rebounds by the Manchester Giants. I'm sure Rob Paternostro will be talking about that at the half, and so they got to clean that part up. But it's only led to 6 second chance points, so even game here.
Story of the first half at the moment. There you can see both teams going back and forth with each other. Throwdown. Well, he had to leave the game because he picked up an injury. And again, they've actually managed to survive without him at the moment.
Yeah, both teams coming out aggressively offensively and lacking a little bit of defensive teeth on that second line. But as the game waned, both teams began to pick that up. But by then, it was a little bit too late as both teams gained the confidence and started to make shots from outside. But, you know, both teams should be coming out in the second half gearing to go.
Well, Giants doing a good job of getting inside the paint, but there you can see Asbury hitting the perimeter shooting down. But again, as we mentioned, both teams, it was really in the first quarter where it was starting to get run and gun, where they were just going back and forth and firing at each other. But, you know, what's interestingly is that Leicester really hasn't taken advantage of having a size mismatch inside the post.
Yeah, I mean, that's disappointing if you're a Leicester Rider, but that's one thing about Rob. You know he'll be talking about offensive rebounds. You know he'll be talking about the size advantage. And so I expect to see a lot more post-ups, a lot more features from Mo Walker and Bridges down low.
That was the penetration by Borsier. We've had a lot of Canadian internationals currently on the floor here for both Giants and the Riders. But again, Wody with the pick and pop, now on the three-pointer from downtown. You mentioned it. Yo, a gem on the scouting report.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a guy you have to run off the line, and if you don't, he'll burn you. And Manchester able to take care of the few turnovers that the Leicester Riders were able to make to get in transition. And so I look for these guys to play even faster and run in the second half.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see highlights, but Surrey versus Leicester, and a nice surprise for you after that.
Drops it down to Bridges, two-handed flush. Robinson with some room. That's a breakdown you can't afford. So we're looking to back down. Oh, that's a tough shot. Here's Robinson. First touch of the ball for Teo Ogundengbe. Nice pass, but Wang got a little underneath the basket. McKenzie, and that is his shot. The mid-range shot off the mark. Rebound McKenzie in there with the big boys. Finds a way out. Here's Washington for three, and he strings it. Washington drops it back to Bowman. Here's Adowu for three, and he knocks it down. Back-to-back threes for the Riders. McKenzie driving in. Looked like he was going to bobble it, but somehow finished it. Well, Surrey had 4 goes at it, but couldn't convert. Oh, Lowell. Easy lane to the basket, and he jams it home. Robinson needs to get it up here. Robinson gets it away in time, and tough finish. There's steal again. They're still crashing the boards here, Surrey. Nice pass, and the two-handed throwdown. Gooden now has Bridges in front of him, trying to go to work. Gets him up in the air, but Thomas is there to throw it out. Holmes is in the corner, knocks down the triple. Steele got bumped. Will that count? Yes, it will. Basket good for Josh Steele.
Nobody crashing the offensive rebound, something they did a good job of in the first half.
Holmes strings a three. Well, Holmes gets into the paint and throws it away. Holmes runs it back, and he's blocked.
Got to be defensively here for the Scorchers.
And Leicester respond. Teo backs out for a near side corner three, and that one goes in. Then Kimball McKenzie gets the roll. Steele fires up the three. It's off the mark. Adowu with the rebound, and a good night at the office for the Leicester Riders. They continue their domination of the Surrey Scorchers.
Skylar White does well to
keep the ball from going out of play.
Still got the rebound. He passed it to me. So me and Ethan, as he was running down the court, we was making like eye connection. Like, I'm like, go, go, go. Then I put it between my legs, and then I'm just like, keep going, bro. I'm gonna get it to you. So he just running. So then boom, put it between my legs and just threw it. Then I just added no look to it. No, it's just all instinct, pretty much. I just do it, and if it works, and go from there. My name is LaQuincy I play for Chancellor Phoenix. I'm the point guard. The journey has been great. Like the first week, we all was hanging out, and we all like got used to each other. So then we get into practice, and we clicked so well because none of us are selfish. We all want to see each other win, and it's like crazy how we all click so well. And now we like playing our best basketball together. Jazz music is it keeps you calm. I would say it keeps you calm and helps you find that rhythm that you're looking for. And you know the term I have that dog in me. That's me, honestly. Like I won't back down from anybody. Never been, never will, and don't plan on doing it. So I'll just say I have that dog in me.
Cheshire leaking out in transition, and a fast break jam for the Knicks, and early 4-0 run for them.
To doing assists, I would say I would prefer doing assists than scoring because that makes me feel like I'm getting my teammates involved. That's the thing about being a point guard, is like getting your teammates involved and keeping them happy and making yourself happy as well. My play style is about risk and reward, so it's like, what's the point of like playing if you're not gonna take that risk? Because the risk is always gonna be with a bigger reward. Russell Westbrook, he's like a big risk-reward player, and that's who I would say I look up to right now, Russell Westbrook, and that's who I get my creativity from. I want to be the best version of me at the end of the season, and team standpoint, the goal coming out here was to win and make a connection with my teammates and make brotherhood. The goal is to win.
Just can't get it, but another offensive board, but just fumbling it. Lions come up with it. Well, look out below. Shover at Lions. Well, we have takeoff. Elvis has left the building.
Mackenzie now looking for Idowu. In fact, he sees a gap and sees some room, and he was fading away and moving away from the basket. Nice save there from McGill. Hustle play, Jordan Johnson, Josh Ward-Hibbert, they need it, and the Newcastle Eagles have it.
Wow, it starts with Ricky McGill. An athletic, emphatic play to keep the ball in bounds, and then Josh Ward-Hibbert runs the floor like all good wings should, confidently knocks it down.
And a throwdown. Oh my goodness. Caught that with one hand, and Wayne just threw it down hard.
Another pump fake for him. He's got lots of room, Johnson. Oh, Taj Green. Hello.
Just followed his point guard and smashed the ball in before anyone else could react.
Jordan Johnson gets in, puts the kernel in the pot. Taj Green, kaboom! Jaron Holmes, one-on-one with Defoe and swiped away by Taj Green. Now they're pushing forward. McGill! Oh, what a block! Caleb Asprey, lock and key.
This is a basket-saving block. Asprey comes across clean as you like.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back, British Basketball League fans. We're currently live here with this game between the Manchester Giants and the Leicester Riders. Well, Drew, it's been neck and neck between these two teams. Nothing to separate them. They're both locked in. I don't know. Who do you see coming out with the victory tonight?
Well, it's tough to call. I think if you're both coaches, you're happy of how you're playing at the moment. I think it's going to come down to what team is able to gobble up a couple of consecutive stops and go on a run, because no team has really gone on a big run here tonight.
Well, of course, at the moment, the Giants, playing very well in front of their home crowd. It's been a very tough start for the season for them. Tomorrow they'll be going against the Cheshire Phoenix in the Northwest Derby. Some of the results you see: Caledonia Gladiators winning at home on Thursday, Riders picking up the victory last night against the Scorchers, London Lions with a big victory, and of course today the Southwest Derby going in one favor. That was the Bristol Flyers. And as we mentioned, a big doubleheader tomorrow, but the big game, Drew, is going to be on Monday. Your Newcastle Eagles, they are coming down to the capital, to the Copper Box, to play the London Lions.
Yeah, Josh, I feel like you're rubbing it in. It's been a tough week for me and the Newcastle Eagles fans, but I have to be objective out there, and all it takes for a team that's struggling is to go to the Copper Box and pick up a win, and guess what? Everyone forgets about the past.
Well, it's a very good point you say that, but look at the Giants, of course. They went to the Copper Box, didn't quite get the victory, but played so well. Now you can see they're a new team, of course, and maybe that's something the Eagles can actually go in their favor. At the moment, Giants, coached by that man, Brian Simonian, interesting coach, of course, and there's quite a lot about his background, as we mentioned, coaching in Malta before that, but also working in the, prior to the G League days with the Anaheim Arsenal back in 2006.
Yeah, absolutely. He's bounced around a little bit, Mexico as well, but I'm told this is a guy that is really active on the summer circuits and is really keen in learning and growing as a coach. And so for him to get this opportunity is huge, and I'm sure he's looking to take full advantage of it.
Well, Giants had a good opportunity there on the offense. Lawton went for the tough pass, only just coming back into the game after awkwardly falling to the ground in the second quarter. Pinson now coming off one ball screen. That's the force of a tough three-pointer, and that's going to be going to go out of bounds. The Giants will get the ball back, so a bit of a soft start for these two teams here in their opening offenses.
Yeah, and that's encouraging for both coaches, coming out and getting stops. And, that's what it takes to win in this league. In particular, on the road for the Leicester Riders, you're going to have to play some defense. And so, very encouraging.
Well, Boursier currently in the backcourt along with Evan Walsh. Harris as well has made a few three-pointers tonight. Well, what a pass. Finds Lawton, goes up. And again, it does look like he is favoring that ankle still, but making the most of every possession.
Wow, that was a great pass there. But for me, it was started by Evan Walsh, who made a dynamic 45 cut, which opened up that paint. And ultimately, Lawton was able to take advantage of the space.
Well, going down low now. Again, an unstoppable post. We've been greedy to a bit of a flashback 90s post play here, Drew.
Yeah, that was a nice move. That soft touch with the left hand kind of looked like a Mo Walker move. And so I'm sure he's learning a lot from that guy at practice.
Well, Lawton's going to get called for the traveling violation.
And that looked like some steps there of a guy that didn't quite trust his ankle. Didn't want to put it there on hard and kind of tripped over his foot there.
Some dime time coming from Harris. You're right, it does look like he's moving quite awkwardly on one of those ankles. At the moment, without any other centers, they do need him just to play a few minutes maybe here in the third quarter. Walsh gets the interception. Now, Giants do have numbers. Oh, spins around here. No look. Falls into the hands of Harris. Goes up for the three. Three is up. Three is good. Well, bit of showtime, Giants basketball.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Evan Walsh with a no-look pass to the rolling, cutting guy, and it bobbles away, and Harris is the recipient of that corner three there.
Fifth three-pointer of the night here for the Giants. Again, went to the bucket, had the move, and again, they're trying to push the tempo one more time. Walsh goes in, finds Boursier, goes up, tried to dunk it, but it doesn't matter, he gets the 2 points, and the Giants have a 5-point lead here. And Rob Paternoster, I believe, is going to call timeout because he needs to stop down this gigantic momentum.
Absolutely. Evan Walsh there on the break looking like Magic Johnson with the no-look pass. The scout report on Evan Walsh. You got to take away the fast break, and for him to understand that and drop it off, knowing that the defense is going to be aggressive getting back, and Boursier running the floor and gets fed.
Well, with the spin and the no-look, I think that's a bit of double magic, but man, for Lawton fumbled it, and in the corner, Harris, well, he is stepping up big time with his perimeter shooting, but again, becoming Missed a dime time at the moment here with Evan Walsh.
Yeah, that's a great play. And those last two possessions I talked about going into the half is that the Manchester Giants need to play even faster and test out those Leicester Riders' legs as they just played 24 hours ago. But that's a great job of Manchester, of the guys running with the ball handling on the break. You don't see that a lot. A lot of times a guy with the ball, everybody kind of sits back and rests. And so that's great fundamental transition from the Manchester Giants.
Asbury just having some disagreement there with Rob Paternoster. Oh, wow.
Rob Paternoster say, hey, you could talk to Taj Green, but you're not going to talk to me like that. I'm the head honcho here. As he asked Caleb Asbury, does he wants to play? So, you know, Asbury, just a rookie there, just got to be careful.
That's a good point you made there. Rookie, you know, one of the most successful coaches in the history of the British Basketball League. Holmes there just getting away with a push-off. On the lane now, goes up, throws it down with two hands. And that's a good response from Bridges.
And that was a nice little drive there by Thomas, who sat most of that half, only played 3 minutes there with 2 early fouls, and so able to create for the rolling Bridges.
We'll see it left wide open, takes the three-pointer count, getting out. It looked like Rob Paternoster just singled to Kimball McKenzie with the index finger to say 1 minute. I wonder if he's going to come in for Asbury. I'll be interested to see how the Riders make a change at some points.
I would not be surprised.
We'll see, he's going to get called for the foul. So 2 free throws coming up here for the Riders.
Yeah, you like that from the young fella from Asbury. You know, he's a talker, but you know, there's a time and place for everything. And you know, as a player, you know, you kind of got to earn your stripes before you kind of yap at a guy like Rob Paternoster. You know, if you're someone like Gino Crandell, which we seen in year 2 after that MVP year, you know, we saw that between him and Rob. But that's a level of respect, 2 players on the same level. But here, when you got a guy that's just got here for a month, you know, you're not at that level yet.
It's interesting, of course, because you make a good point that you love his confidence, his fearlessness, but you know, remember Rob when he was a player back in the British Basketball League. He was very, very similar, very aggressive, very tough as nails, you know, when he played for the former Birmingham Bullets. But at the moment, his team trailing by 1 point. Giants' 5-point lead has been cut down. Walsh coming off the ball screen. It goes out of bounds. It's going to remain Giants ball on the baseline with 6 seconds here on the shot clock.
And that's one area of Evan Walsh games that I want to see develop. We know that he's great at going from A to B, straight line drives, but I want to see him more moving laterally and being able to change directions with the dribble.
I think they counted it. Wow. So yeah, the 3 counted because there must be a foul that's been called off the ball. So the 3-pointer must have been taken just before the foul took place.
Wow, and Rob Paternoster and Ado looks just as confused and surprised there, but huge possession here if that is the case here for the Manchester Giants.
Now, Drew, if I'm correct here, the reason this is not a shooting foul because it wasn't on Harris who took the 3-pointer, it was off the ball, so that's why Giants get the ball back. So this could potentially be a 5, maybe a 6-point play if they get something here.
You're absolutely right.
Walsh in the lane now, takes inside the key, and again, restoring a bit of order. Giants now with a 6-point lead.
And that's a 5-point possession for the Manchester Giants. You're right, if the shooter does make the shot and there's a foul off the ball, you are able to keep possession there. So
Anderson coming down for the double team. Pinson's going to be wide open on the perimeter. Giants maybe getting away with a push in the back there, but they do have numbers. Walsh going all the way. Euro step time, making it look clean. What a play by Evan Walsh.
Nice play there by Evan Walsh, who sidesteps with the high rip to get to the basket.
Well, that's going to count there.
That should be a goaltending because he hit the rim.
So I guess they've called the foul, but you're right there. No, I don't think they are because the reaction from Rob Paternoster, the official has signaled for 2 free throws, but Jerry, I got to tell you, I think he did touch the net.
Anytime a defender hits the rim or slaps the backboard, it's an automatic goaltend. As you see, Lawton there hit the underneath the rim there.
Well, Pinson will go to the free throw line here for 2 shots.
Manchester Giants getting a little bit of home cooking there with that call there.
Pinson currently at the free throw line. A phenomenal game against the Bristol Flyers on the road.
Rob Paternostro, after going through a carousel of point guards last season, going through 4 transactions, it seems like he got it right first with Pinson because he seems like the real deal.
We're kind of down to a 6-point ball game. The Giants need to build the momentum here, but again, Pinson with great defense. And again, ladies and gentlemen,
Showtime.
look out below. Defense converting those turnovers into transition points.
And that's because Pinson got the long arms there, able to rip the ball loose. And Evan Walsh, high and soft off the glass, doing what he does best, finishing at the rim.
Oh, he played for the Riders, of course. I mean, Pinson went for the dime there. Maybe convert, but go back to Evan Walsh. Yeah, when he played for the Riders, he was on the championship team. And of course, you know, it's very tough when you play with a high caliber team and, you know, trying to find your spot. But now he's shown exactly the primetime player that he is.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to wait your turn. I mean, I'm sure he had long talks with Connor Washington because Connor Washington sat the bench for many years before he got an opportunity. And Evan Walsh seems to have soaking up a lot of knowledge there in the second half of the season. Actually was in the rotation, and you can tell he had Rob's trust.
Well, another deep 3 by Anderson. Nailed it for downtown. And all of a sudden here, it's a 9-point ball game.
Jamel Anderson has improved tremendously as a shooter. As I mentioned, that is a shot that if it wasn't a wide open shot in the corners, he was never attempting. And so now you see with no hesitation.
Well, Pinson made the good penetration, unable to finish it. And again, Evan Walsh, both ends of the floor. This guy single-handedly taking over this game for the Giants.
Ladies and gentlemen, clip that up. That is textbook fast break. The ball, 3 passes, doesn't hit the floor, pitching the ball ahead to a wide open Evan Walsh.
Well, it's going to be an offensive foul. Great defense by Austin Lawton. 11-point lead here to the Manchester Giants. But at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, with 4:26 to go here in the basketball game, the Riders currently on the back hill. But we are going to take a break, and we will be back shortly.
Everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain. Anything you got, you've earned it. Sky is the limit, it's reachable. Just jump high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable.
I'm unbeatable. Couple minutes, gotta score. Every time they wanna clash, the winner's kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Rob Paternostro currently finding his team trailing by 11 points. Josh Bett alongside Drew Lasker. Drew, at the moment, this game is only going in favor of the Manchester Giants.
That's because they've made it a track meet. They currently got on their running shoes, and the Leicester Riders got on plimsolls. So taking advantage of those weary legs as the Riders played last night at home.
Well, one turning it over. Jaron Holmes trying to go with the Eurostep. They're going to call the foul against Boursier. So 2 free throws coming up here for Jaron Holmes and the Leicester Riders. It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is, but Boussier just has to get a little bit wider. He was there vertical. If you're going to take a charge, you got to spread those feet, shoulder width. Your feet need to come out further than your shoulders, and that way you make them go the long way around. He was just a little bit too skinny there.
Well, Nick Stampley coming into the game, and you identified a very interesting stat about his perimeter shooting coming into this game, Drew, because he did hit 2 3-pointers at the beginning, but that's not what he's known for.
Yeah, he came into this game 1-7 from the three-point line and has almost attempted a season high here tonight, 2 for 6. And sometimes as a non-shooter, when you make your first couple, you kind of fall in love with the three ball. So let's see what his mindset is coming here in the second half.
Well, again, there's plenty of time in this game. No time to push the panic button for the Leicester Riders. As you mentioned, off the back of a great victory last night against the Surrey Scorchers. Now they're back down to single digits. Jaron Holmes, 4 3-pointers last night for the Riders. The Giants need to maintain the pressure. We'll see with the hesitation. Doesn't go in for the layup. And nutmegs his own teammate. Throws that out of bounds, and the social media team completely wide open underneath the basket.
Well, Boussier, that turnover was caused from the 2 block shots in the first half. When he went up aggressively, got it blocked, and that time as he got in the paint, he second-guessed himself, threw the ball over Jamel Anderson's head.
McKenzie back in the game now in the backcourt with Connor Washington. Kimball looking to penetrate. 5 here on the shot clock, nowhere to go. Pulls up in the mid-range. Doesn't get it. Giants secure the rebound. Already trying to push the tempo yet again.
Got a mismatch down low. Kimball on Jamel Anderson.
3 Leicester Riders players getting ready for the help side. He's able to draw the foul here. That's going to be the 3rd team foul against the Riders.
And as Jamel Anderson caught the ball there were 5 guys in the paint. And so on the weak side there, the Giants just got to get some action there just to keep the defense loose.
It was actually Stampley who secured him off. Walsh kicks out, no charge called. Boussier 3-corner, can't get it. Riders looking to chip into deficit. Washington kicks out. Holmes made 4 last night, but again, can't get it going from the perimeter. Again, another turnover. Well, ladies and gentlemen, have numbers. Look out, again, the alley-oop was just thrown a little bit too early there. We're just waiting for that moment, aren't we?
Yeah, and that was the same play earlier where we thought they should have thrown it up to Jamel Anderson. That time, Walsh puts it there at the rim, and Kimball there making a play on the ball and sending Jamel Anderson to the free throw line, which is a great foul there.
And another reason why it's a great foul also, as you mentioned, because Jamel Anderson has missed 3 free throws this evening. At the moment, a team that is living off the adrenaline against his former team, the Leicester Riders.
Well, we say make them earn, especially a team that's in this 3rd quarter has gotten a lot of their buckets from transition. The last thing you want to do is to continue to have that Manchester crowd on their feet, clapping and celebrating. And so, you know, the free throw line just kind of calms them down a little bit.
In the podcast with Patrick Whelan and Gino Crandall, he talked about the reason why he left Cheshire Phoenix. He had nothing but good things to say about the great franchise at Cheshire Phoenix, but it was a decision for his family to come to Manchester. Remember, he played it 2 seasons ago, but he's going to get the chance to play against his former team tomorrow as they meet in the Cheshire Oaks Arena, and the +1's going to go to Jaron Holmes.
And that was a great offensive action there from the Leicester Riders, an action we've seen many times before, and getting the defense off balance, and Boussier there with the closeout, but not ready and feet set to anticipate the drive, and Holmes takes advantage.
2:31 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Riders, of course, playing off fumes after yesterday's big game. They lost their opening game against the Cheshire Phoenix, but since then, they've been looking like the usual Leicester Riders that we're used to, but Holmes unable to convert the 3-point play.
And if you're Leicester Riders, you just want to hang around, be in striking distance once we get to the 4th quarter.
Well, Stampley Webb with a simple pump fake. And just when the Riders are about to build a little bit of momentum, the Giants respond back, and this time it's with the undersized Stampley getting Idowu off the ground.
And that's a nice job. Stampley there, fundamentally sound, comes down on 2 feet, gathers himself, sells the shot, gets the defense to rise up, and goes through them for the +1.
Well, Giants want to keep this double digits because at some point, you know, in the fourth quarter, the Riders will make the run. It's a question of trying to hold on to the lead because, you know, respectfully, the Riders are a better team by what we've seen so far this season.
Yeah, and we seen a game last year where Manchester Giants was up and flying, and Leicester Riders was able to pull back late, bring it into overtime, and ultimately pick up that win. And so the Leicester Riders are never out. They just got to stay close and bend but not break as the Manchester Giants have the momentum.
Well, Nick Lewis beginning to box out Connor Washington. Holmes turned this over. And Lewis only checking into the game now due to the production that we've seen from Evan Walsh going end-to-end, but they've taken Ashley Borsey out of the game. Lewis will move to the point guard role.
Well, you know what Nick Lewis comes into the game for. That is for offensive production, so the Riders got to make sure they keep keyed in on him.
Down low to Anderson. Got it by Lowell. Anderson goes in with a tough one. The bank is open. Now it's a 14-point ball game.
Wow, big boy move there by Jamel Anderson there to get to the paint and finishing through the defense.
Redoe now calling for the ball in the post. He's got it by the smaller Harris. Again, he had the move there, but unable to finish it.
Yeah, when you got that mismatch there, you got to try to get as close as you can to the basket. Redoe kind of settling for the fadeaway there.
Well, the bucket now, maybe a three-pointer would be big. Lewis, are you kidding me, Drew Laska? What did we just see?
I told you, he's coming in for offensive production. You got to respect the three, so the defense blitz him. He's able to get downhill on his left hand and hits him with a little roly-poly.
I mean, he switched that one from the left to the right. I mean, we didn't expect that one for sure, but that was something special by Nick Lewis. Redoe goes in, responded with a one-handed jam.
And that's exactly what a big man is supposed to do on the low block. You don't want to settle for the fadeaway. Get in there, get in the paint, finish strong with authority.
Well, here's the player who's been the key difference in this game in the third quarter. Anderson down the middle. Anderson goes up and responds. Well, we had a three-point fest in the first quarter. Right now, we might see a dunk fest.
Wow, the weak side defense from the Leicester Riders, non-existent. Jamel Anderson puts his head down and gets all the way to the basket.
16-point lead still. 5 seconds difference. Game clock and shot clock. Moore goes for a three in the corner. Three is up. Three is good. That's a big-time play there. Cutting it down to a 13-point deficit. Now the Giants have a few seconds. Harris draws the contact. That's not. Well, no. That's a bad foul because they're going to send him to the free throw line.
Yeah, terrible foul there from the veteran Connor Washington. Didn't have the foul count tracked. Was aggressively fouling him and unfortunately sends him to the line for 2 shots. And for me, I just wonder, you know, Connor Washington was out all last season with a back injury, a guy who's known for his defense, can move his feet very well, but as soon as you start to get those back pains, the first thing that goes is your lateral movement.
Well, maybe not a bad foul hold there because Harris unable to make both of them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the third quarter, the Manchester Giants turning this game around as they have a 13-point lead. Brian Simonian's players playing with confidence. It's the end of the third, and we're going to take a short break, and we will be back momentarily.
One hand, and Wayne just threw it down hard.
Another pump fake for him. He's got lots of room, Johnson. Oh, Taj Green! Hello!
Just followed his point point guard and smashed the ball in before anyone else could react.
Jordan Johnson gets in, puts the kernel in the pot. Taj Green, kaboom! Jaron Holmes, one-on-one with Defoe and swiped away by Taj Green. Now they're pushing forward. McGill! Oh, what a block! Caleb Asprey, lock and key.
This is a basket-saving block. Asprey comes across clean as you like off the backboard.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Rob Paternoster at the moment, seeing his team down by 30 points. A three-pointer made by TJ Law at the end of the third quarter, but at the moment, Drew, the Giants playing with a lot of inspiration, a lot of confidence here.
Yeah, they're showing you that loss in London was no fluke. They're playing a terrific ball game without two of their big guns, and legend Robertson and also William Lee. And so if they can hold on, this would be a terrific win for the home side.
Udoh went for the fadeaway, and the foul is going to be called against Kimball McKenzie. You know, you also made a very good point in the third quarter. You know, the Riders, as good as they are playing right off the back of a game yesterday. So, and you know, the Giants will see this tomorrow when they play against Cheshire on the road.
Yeah, it's tough playing back-to-back. I mean, for the Leicester Riders, I don't think it's that big of a deal just because they got youth on their side. And also, if you look at it, they've played 11 guys tonight. So coaches mix the minutes around. And so let's see if they have anything left for this fourth quarter.
Well, Pinson and McKenzie playing at the top of a 2-3 zone. Stapley playing at the high post, and already, Asprey threw it off of Harris, but almost caught it out of bounds. But it's going to be interesting to see how the Giants out. Again, a 2-3 zone. It's very interesting when you see it at the pro level. What's a way that you preferably like to attack a 2-3 zone? Well,
actually, I think that looked like a 1-3-1 to me, which is different from a 2-3. You just want to make sure you offset it. If it's a 2-3, you want to be 1-3-1. And as Udoh finishes strong to the basket there, using their defense to offense. But back to your point, you just want to offset it. If it's a 1-3-1, you want to make sure you have two guys there high at the slots. But if it's a 2-3 zone, you want a 1-3 set, so you always have some options available. But that was a great timeout play call there by Rob Paternoster.
It's interesting when you see zone defense at the pro level, because sometimes it looks like when you play a zone defense, it's almost like it's a little bit harder because you really have to make sure you're all working together collectively to make sure you force the team into a very tough shot.
Well, that's the case, and that's why offensively it's always tough because there is soft spots in the zone. In the 2-3, you want to get the ball to the middle or the baseline, but usually teams just kind of pass it around the perimeter and end up taking a heave at the end of the shot clock. So now it looks like they're in a 2-3 zone now, switching up their defense again.
Well, Lewis went for the big one, can't get it. 10-point lead. Riders have trailed by as many as 16. Pinson out, looking to shake and bake. Kicking this one to Asbury. He's made a few threes tonight and makes another one. Now it's a 7-point ball game. And the Giants wasted no time to call timeout.
That's terrific coaching there by Rob Paternoster, catching the Manchester Giants off guard, starting with that 1-3-1. Then the very next possession says, guess what? I got something else up my sleeve. Take this 2-3 zone. And the Giants looking confused on that end.
Well, again, we talked about building that big lead, and it was all Evan Walsh pushing the tempo. Harris making a three-pointer off the fumble. Well, that was a three-pointer made, and a foul was made off the bucket. But, you know, Giants build a 16-point lead. The question is, can they hang on to it? Drew, going back to what we talked about, they've got to find a way to break down this zone defense.
Absolutely, and that's why they're going to a zone, because this was the moment here in the third quarter that the Manchester Giants began to go on their run. Remember that 5-point play had started there. Then the Manchester Giants was able to get out in transition. And so now the question is for the Giants is, can you play in half court?
Interesting there for Rob Paternoster. I think Asbury, after making that three-pointer, has probably answered his question. Yes, Coach, I do want to play.
Yeah, I think they're fine. And that's a great job by Rob by not, you know, sometimes you can overcoach and and try to have this macho, I'm the man and you don't talk to me like that, you go and sit down. But he understands that this is a very passionate game. It's the pros, and sometimes players, coaches, things come out in the heat of the moment that maybe how you wouldn't typically, but you know, you don't take it personal.
Of course, Rob was definitely one of those players as they almost turn it over. Harris has made a few tonight, goes for another one. Can't get this one. Stampley battling for offensive boards, but Leicester come up with a loose ball. Well, three-pointer would be big. They go for it. The three is up. Again, they can't get it. Giants survive that one.
Dodge a bullet there from Ado. That's what he likes to do, get his feet set.
When pump fakes, finds Walsh. Walsh down the middle. Walsh bumps, goes up. Can't finish it. Again, it goes out of bounds, and the Riders will get this one back. But you can see the Giants just trying to move the ball around against the defense.
Yeah, it's tough there. I mean, you don't see many people falling for a pump fake 40 feet from the rim, and we seen it in the highlight last week with Nick Lewis, because you got to respect it because he has Steph Curry range.
Anderson came out and switched, but Pinson going straight to the bucket. Now it is officially a 5-point ball game.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Pinson putting the ball, got the basketball on a string, going laterally, able to find a crease and get to the basket, finishing with his weak hand as the Leicester Riders back in the 2-3 zone again.
Giants just need a bit of confidence against the zone. Anderson kicks out. Lewis goes up off the backboard. That's a good response there, just penetrating, slicing down the zone defense.
Nice job. That was a great job by Nick Lewis to get into the teeth of the defense, using his shot as a weapon to get inside to the paint, finishing for 2.
Just over 7 minutes. McKenzie was the best player last night, again stepping up. Tough mid-range shot right in the face of Nick Lewis.
And you don't want to get this guy going because he likes to get to those midi areas, which is the free throw line, typically the elbows, but at the top of the key, he has it in the arsenal as well.
Walsh goes for a deep three. He puts it up, and again, that's just way off the mark, but gets some rebound. Nice deflection off of TJ Law, and that's going to stay Giants ball in the corner. 10 here on the shot clock.
And that was a great job for the Leicester Riders to get back there on defense as Pinson slipped to get to that loose ball there, but the defense was able to scramble and keep the possession alive.
Well, over the years, he's coached some great comebacks in this league, and at the moment he knows a 5-point deficit. They've worked really hard to get back in this one.
And you see that Riders crowd there behind the Riders bench. They're getting into it, trying to cheer the guys on.
A smart play by Anderson. As soon as he got it, he tacked the basket right away. Now the question is, are they going to call this a shooting foul? I think he is walking to the free throw line.
Yeah, he was definitely in the act of shooting. He picked up the ball, taking his long strides. And as long as you're looking at the rim, you know, that's 2 free throws every time.
Again, spent the majority of his great career here in the British Basketball League with the Leicester Riders. Also featured for the Loughborough University.
And there's nobody in our league that takes care of their body more than Jamel Anderson at 33 years old. And like we mentioned at the top, having a career year, leading the league in minutes. And he is just a well-oiled machine there.
Well, it's also a joke someone told me like last season, I think that 20 years from now, Pat Anosh is going to have to find a new team to surround players around Jamel Anderson. I mean, that's the fact of how well he takes care of himself.
And that's what it's about. I mean, you know, it's so many more resources out there, so much more information. And as a young player, you just think you never get old, so you don't, you know, do the due diligence like icing and stretching. But if you can get those great habits when you're young, it will pay dividends for the rest of your career.
Well, Kimball went for the mid-range. Ball's trying to push the tempo. Giants no need to rush this one. For them, it's about wearing down each offense, but trying to come up with something at least. Trying to go to dribble handoff. Riders going into a man-to-man defense. Now there's a few seconds here. Anderson draws another foul, and that's going to be the 3rd team foul against the Riders.
Yeah, great job there from Jamel Anderson after they ran that dribble weave action. Was able to sell that shot. That's a shot that 4 or 5 years ago, you don't even go out. And now he's worked on his game, has the respect of the opponent, able to use that shot to get inside.
Well, the good thing about that foul, it does give them a fresh 14, but Giants want to keep maintaining the pressure. corner. Harris, 3 is up, way off the mark. Well, they got to go up with this one. Harris getting rejected. Asbury just said, not in your house.
Wow, Asbury, small size, but a big heart, comes out of nowhere, sends that and able to keep the ball in bounds as well.
I mean, this is a case of just saying, no in me casa, get out of here, or no in tu casa. Not welcome in the domain. What a defensive play by Asbury.
We seen the block he had on Ricky McGill a week ago, coming from the weak side, just hiding in the weak side. Come out of nowhere and pinned it on the backboard.
10 here on the shot clock for the Giants. 5:30. Lewis going up, making a bit of contact and finishing smooth as you like off the backboard.
And I really like the intent from Nick Lewis, understanding that every closeout is going to be a long closeout because of the performance he had in London. He would have been high on the scouting report, and he's been patient and got inside the paint all night long.
Well, Benson just losing control of this one. Asbury, the offensive board. Kimball McKenzie's wide open on the perimeter. In the end, just can't get it to drop.
Yeah, that's a play you got to kick out there. You got 2 guys with their feet set on the perimeter.
13 offensive rebounds. Lewis from no man's land doesn't get the roll on it. Well, what a pass by Pinson. McKenzie's going to get called for the offensive foul. Well, ladies and gentlemen, currently a 9-point lead here to the Manchester Giants with 4:46 to go here in the 4th quarter. At the moment, these 2 teams are going to talk it over. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back very shortly.
You put the work in, everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain anything you got, you've earned it. Sky's the limit, it's reachable. Just jump high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable.
Couple minutes, gotta score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Well, the Manchester Giants fans desperate for a victory here against the Leicester Riders. Remember, the last time they beat Leicester was in 2022 when Lloyd Gardner was the head coach. Stampley goes in. I think he wanted to try and throw that one down, but now it's an 11-point lead to the Giants.
And that's unexcusable defense from the Leicester Riders. You come out of a timeout and allow a fast break opportunity from a sideline inbound.
Pinson look for the isolation, kicks out to Asbury. Riders need something big here. Again, nowhere to go. Contact's made, puts up a tough one. The rebound has been secured. Giants slowly but surely, undeniably, unquestionably believing in themselves at the moment.
And on a 6-0 run in the last 2 minutes. So let's see if they can close this thing off and come out with a victory.
Well, Leicester want to be quick here. Jaron Holmes goes for the 3 in transition. Top, it's no good. Good closeout by Evan Walsh.
And that was a good look as well by Holmes. And the Giants dodged the bullet, and you can see them slowing down the pace, trying to work a little bit of that clock.
We're gonna go back into zone defense. Motion for the penetration. Addison, 3, corner, got it! Big time 3-pointer by a big time player. Under 3.5.
We talked about him at the top of the show. Jamel Anderson has done a little bit of everything tonight, getting to the free throw line, getting to the basket, hitting timely open jump shots, and also defending.
Well, Pinson responded with a much-needed three-pointer. And now it's back to an 11-point ball game. Leicester need to dig deep here. Problem is, Drew, they've got no more fouls to give. Stampley hasn't made a three-pointer since the first half, continues to struggle here from the perimeter. Pinson pulls up for another quick one again. That's a tough one, Drew.
And you mentioned it off air. Leicester Riders showing a little bit of their immaturity. You know, Caleb Asbury under the basket could have kicked it out to some snipers out there. A questionable shot there from Pinson. Thomas a couple possessions ago when the defense was walled up.
Well, now they need to stop here. Walsh has got seconds left. Pump fakes. Walsh has to force up a tough one. And that's going to go out of bounds. For now, I mean, Drew, for the next 2 minutes and 25 seconds, trailing by 11, it really is going to be Operation Hold On here for the Manchester Giants.
Yeah, and a team that's not accustomed to winning, usually in this position, they play not to lose. You want to continue to be aggressive, take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves, but you don't want to rush anything either.
Well, Pinson goes up. What a rejection from Nick Lewis.
Nick Lewis there saying, hey, this is my house. You in Manchester. You don't come to my house. Not now, not tonight, not ever, as he says, get that out of here.
What a swipe on that one. Get out, he said. Trying to go to Asbury. Asbury goes up, gets the at one. That's a big-time play because now he'll go to the free throw line to make this potentially an 8-point ball game.
And that's just a mistake by the Manchester Giants defense. You're always taught, see man and ball. The defense there glued in on Asbury, doesn't see the guy taking out the ball, and they're just able to throw it over Harris's head there.
Well, if he makes this free throw, I think the block on Pinson might be a bit of a blessing in disguise, but again, he's unable to make it. Plenty of time still, just over 2 minutes, 9-point deficit.
And the Riders are uncharacteristically 15 for 24 from the free throw line as they draw an 8-second call there. Harris, that's what we talked about earlier. You can't play not to lose. Walking the ball up the court, you only get 8 seconds, and boy, big mistake there.
The irony of this, the last time I remember this happening last season was actually against the Manchester Giants, in which Surrey Scorchers committed this in overtime. But no foul called, a costly turnover.
And guess who gets their hand on the ball? Jamel Anderson. That must have been his 4th or 5th deflection tonight.
Well, Harris missed his last 2 free throws. There you can see pointing at his head to say, mental focus to step up and make these free throws. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we got a doubleheader. The Sheffield Sharks will be hosting Scotland's finest, the Caledonia Gladiators. You can catch that on the official platform of the British Basketball League on YouTube, while the Cheshire Phoenix will be hosting the Manchester Giants, so currently in action here against Leicester Riders. A bit of a northwest derby here in the British Basketball League, but on Monday, Newcastle Eagles will be heading to the Copper Box, and Drew, I think both you and I are looking forward to that one big time.
I am, and I said it before, Josh, stop picking on my Newcastle Eagles. There's other games there on the slate as well, but as you mentioned, I'll be there front row and center in my living room with my popcorn watching that game.
Well, that's going to be an exciting matchup, of course, and as we mentioned, Giants went to the Copper Box, played very well. Now you can see the benefits of the confidence from the game, but Pinson with another turnover. Giants could be their moment here trying to pick up that second vital victory. Sitting 3rd bottom of the British Basketball League, just in front of the Plymouth City Patriots and the Surrey Scorchers. And that is the Riders' 15th turnover of the game. Finds Anderson, give and go play it again. Good night to Manchester. That might be for you.
Wow, the connection at the brick connect with Evan Walsh and Jamel Anderson as he drops it off to the gold medalist. And looks like he might have sealed the deal with that.
Well, Drew, I got to ask you, this has been a great game by the Giants, but, you know, who has been your player of the game?
Man, well, it's the guy we talked about at the top of the show, Jamel Anderson. Not only has he scored the ball, but he's rebounded as well, 6 assists. But more importantly for me, he's defended, got his hands on several balls here tonight, and 6 big steals leading from the front.
Well, Anderson there, you can see again, He's going to pick up the foul. It's only the third team foul against the Giants. So 48 seconds here in the fourth quarter. This could be a monumental victory for them. And maybe, again, we talked about that journey they took to the Capitol to play against the Lions. Spirited performance, but maybe this just might be the turnaround they need to kickstart their season.
And this would be a huge victory, as we talked about. Two of their big guns there sat on the bench, and if you can beat a Leicester Riders team that's in form, won 4 in a row, wow, this would be huge.
Well, Jerome Holmes went for the deep one, can't get it. Wall secures the rebound. Well, Manchester, you can start to celebrate here tonight. The Giants, the season last year that started with a lot of promise, finishing with a lot of disappointment. Now there's a bit of hope with this team. A new coach, a new team. As Asprey goes for another three, can't get it. Long went for the follow-up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we would just like to say thank you for joining us here tonight, as Nick Lewis is going to go up and finish it. I don't think Jaron Holmes appreciated that one too much, but this is international basketball. Every point counts in any head-to-head. That's how it works here. So that's not a sign of disrespect. But at the end of this one, Manchester Giants, foul has been called. I think this, well, question is this going to be a shooting foul? Now, Jaron Holmes is arguing with Nick Lewis, and that's just inexperience there for Jaron Holmes. You know this especially. Why do you want to keep scoring, especially in an international league? Points matter, Drew.
Absolutely, and from the Giants' perspective, it's not my fault that you didn't get back on defense. And so sometimes I think that play is a little bit out of hand. And like you talked about, if both of these teams end up 2-2 on the season, there's a scenario where it could come down to a points difference. So that's just Holmes as a rookie, not understanding how things are done here in the professional ranks. And Nick Lewis, a veteran, has been around the block, putting those extra 2 points on the board.
Well, it wasn't a shooting foul. It was the last team foul for the Giants to give away with 2 seconds left. 14-point lead. Well, we would just like to say good night here to the Manchester Giants. Congratulations to the city of Manchester. Giants win this one, 94-80. Legend Robertin. Well, again, he was going on the floor there to say something. Jamel Anderson. I think things just need to calm down here. And again, Jaron Holmes, coaches just need to get the players off the court right now, because as you mentioned, rookie Holmes not understanding why Nick Lewis went for the points. Now you can see great job by Rob Paternoster going and shaking hands with the opponents right away.
Wow, and he might have said something to Jamel Anderson there. I've seen that stern finger there, maybe talk to him, but a terrific win by the Manchester Giants. And what I like about is Jamel Anderson, the veteran. Legend Robertin got off the bench to kind of taunt the win, and he pushed him back and he said, no, fella, we will see these guys again.
Yeah. Okay, so professional basketball, emotions, this is their job. You want to be the best, you want to be competitive, but I think the overall talking point is that, when Nick Lewis went for those 2 points, it's not a sign of disrespect. You want to put as many points. You clarified that. You play each other 3 times. You may need to go to that head-to-head at some point.
Absolutely, and that's just a little bit of inexperience there, as we talked about. The Leicester Riders are starting 5 rookies, but also a little bit of history of Nick Lewis. We know he likes to talk a little bit, so you just got to, take it with a grain of salt and just say, hey, fella, we will see you guys again.
Well, some words there, of course, when players coming together. Good leadership from Jamel Anderson, bringing these players together. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to show you the statistics from this game, and in the end, it was a phenomenal third-quarter turnaround for the Giants. But, Drew, where did it all fall apart for the Riders?
In the third quarter, the Manchester Giants were able to get off to the races and play with pace and space, and was able to push the lead up to as much as 16. And from that moment, the Leicester Riders were just chasing their tails and weren't able to get over that hump. They brought it back as close as 6 points, but ultimately, the Manchester Giants were able to take care of business at home.
Well, now we're going to show you some results that have happened so far from the weekend. Also, the fixtures that will be happening tomorrow and Monday. Again, tomorrow is going to be an exciting doubleheader. But there are your results, of course. Caledonia, Leicester, London picking up victories on Thursday and Friday. But today it's all been about Bristol and the Manchester Giants. Tomorrow, the Sharks will host Caledonia. Phoenix hosts the Giants. And again, hate to bring it to you, I'm not picking on your Eagles because I love them as well.
Man.
But they've got to go to the Capitol to play the league's best. But Drew, now let's look at the league table. The Lions, currently the only undefeated team. But this is a monumental victory for the Manchester Giants, because now they've just slightly moved ahead of the Newcastle Eagles.
Absolutely. They just get right back up there in the mix. And so, you see their Surrey and Plymouth City Patriots sitting there at the bottom of the table. But otherwise, it's up for grabs for anybody.
Well, these Giants players, you can say they can rest, but again, it's only getting started. It's going to be a gigantic turnaround if they can move things around. And Evan Walsh enjoying the occasion on social media. I think he's either making a TikTok live show on IG. Make sure you follow him, of course. But what a phenomenal performance from this team led by Jamal Anderson, the player of the game for the Manchester Giants. Well, British Basketball League fans, we thank you for joining us. There's more games tomorrow, an exciting doubleheader, and a great game on Monday. I'm Josh Bett. He's the legendary Drew Lasker. But for now, it's good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.